I'm just wondering if a few of you might be willing to share just some brief testimonies about what was it that you were looking for when you came here, or what did you find? Margaret? And if we can get this on camera, that would be fun.
I was definitely looking for a community with whom I could share joys and sorrows, and there would be enough of them with my very small family that I wouldn't ever be left alone, essentially. Followed in very short order by a choir that sang in worship and Bible study.
Right. Someone else? Yeah.
I was brought here as a child in arms. My parents came here, my grandparents came here, and for me, this has been an important community. So I was thinking about that when I saw the parents with the young children, what effect it might have that you come every day, every Sunday. And when we were young, we got to have donuts after church. Oh. So that was also great. Thank you.
I did see muffins next door, so.
Hi, I'm not used to talking in these. I was raised a Lutheran in Berkeley, very conservative church right on University Avenue for many years. I came here, I was church shopping, and 18 years ago I found FCCB. And one of the things that really struck me in a positive way was the acceptance of anybody and everybody, no matter what, where they came from, who they were, and it really touched my heart deeply, the acceptance, and it's just what I was hoping for, and I've been here ever since, and it's getting better and better.
Great,
thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Like you, Robin, I came here as a little tot. I was 6, though, and I loved the stained glass window. I could just stare at that all through the service and just let all of these beautiful things happen while I sailed off. I thought to God, I think so, but that's what it felt like. And then I grew up through the church, and then I lived farther away and didn't come. And then after Daddy died, I returned with my mother, and we've been coming ever since.
Thank you.
I was looking for a job. We came to Berkeley, and because my husband was going to study here, and I heard that the organist was a graduate from Oberlin, so I knew it must be good. I auditioned, and at that time we had 2 services, and I would sing once a month in the first service. And then I went on, and I became a church soloist and freelanced all over the area. But when I finally decided that I would join a church, I'm a Congregationalist born and bred, and the music here was usually, in most places, the Episcopalians have the best music. But this church, wow, that was no problem. But so we brought up our kids in this church, too.
Great. We can just pass it down to Julie.
So the first day of my new members class, they asked this question, and I said, I'm looking for progressive theology and great music. And I felt like everybody else in the class said community. I'm looking for community. And I had no idea what they were even talking about. I'd grown up, my dad in the Air Force, and we moved every 3 years growing up. And once I left my parents' house, I kind of kept up that habit and moved a lot. And I went to church a lot, but I never had a church community. I never had that feeling. I never knew what that was about. It was all just about kind of going and paying your weekly dues and listening to the pastor and leaving. And I never had those relationships. And now, after being here for 14 years, that is by far the most important thing to me here is all of you. I want to be without it again.
Well, I grew up in the 1970s in the South, and in actually what was a very kind of spiritual but kind of hippie spiritual environment. And so
but I really envied my friends who went to churches that had a deep and ancient tradition, but they were not like hippie spirituality at that time. And I didn't know that it was possible to be basically truly progressive and truly Christian before I came here. So that's what I was looking for, and I was amazed that it existed.
I was looking for a place to get to know God and Jesus more. It was kind of a new thing for me, and I had tried a couple churches, and I would say God brought me here, which is a long story. I'll tell you all someday. But when I came here, I found not only this community that you all are speaking of, but this amazing kind of, as a lot of you mentioned, this welcoming for all in this just amazing love that you all just give so freely. And I kept thinking, when's the other shoe going to drop? Like, when am I going to get bitten, or is it not actually going to be welcoming? And I've been here for a year, and I don't think it's there. I think you all, I mean, I know we're all human and that happens, but I was also looking for a weekly renewal of my week to kind of help me get through the next week, and this has also been a place for that. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thanks for those stories.